Hello, hello, hello. And today, this is not a combo guide, a tier list, or play this character. This is a series of case studies on all characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And today we're going over Tien Chin Han. Now, at a glance, when we first see Tien, he's what you'd call an all-round beam, really, really fast. Great fast key blast to kind of bait movement. Fantastic 2H, one of the fastest, if not fastest in the game. Is a fantastic 2H. Take this off. Great special all around, but before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the zones. So up close, Tien has a low hitting 2L, which is -4. Very fast 5L, which is -3. 5LL, -4. He can chain as well, so this is very good for pressure, keeping up pressure. So this is safe. Ridiculously fast 2M, which is -7 out from a range. It's not punishable by most characters in the game. 2M in this is safe, so it's -4. So a lot of his pressure is safe. So all of this is safe. So you can imagine doing all of this. Even if he does all his whole auto combo, it's still -4. So you can call it, instead of calling him Tien, it's called Mr. -4. So he has lots of pressure tools when he's up close. I said before, he's got one of the fastest, if not fastest, 2H in the game, being in 12 frames. So it's really, really good for really good reaction 2Hs. Great 5S with -5 on block. And the biggest thing about Tien is his air normal. So he's really got a nice jump L, but his cross up JM can hit from ranges people don't expect. So when you're really up close, not many characters can do this. So you can go really cross up and still confirm. He has a great 5H, so from any angle. So really, really far out. So nearly at round start actually. Let's do it again. So really close to round start. He's got really great 5H. Now, supers, Tien has some got a level 1, which is, if you look at the data, it's barely punishable. So as you saw there, -20, so that's a very good move to just chuck out. You can do level 2 if you hold down the button, and that's only -18. So even still, it's still safe on block, relatively safe, not really punishable by most characters. He also has level 3, traditional level 3, really fast, and he also has the cute Chaosu, but it doesn't hit on crouches. Obviously it hits when they're standing. So that's something to watch out for. Now if that special's all out of the way, we're going to go into Tien and his win conditions. So Tien as a character, I said he has everything. So by himself, when Tien's attacking, Tien has an array of specials. Well, he has a dive kick, this move here, which hits someone if they're crouching. So if you see here, if my opponent is crouching and I say don't switch, so you see here, this move will hit them. So he has this move, so your opponent has to really stay honest. And he has all types of variants. With EX, it's even faster. So he's got this really fast move to get your opponent guessing. Now you're thinking, what if I just hold back? Tien has a command grab. So 236L is this move here, which is -5. When it does this, he has an armor point. So what I mean by armor point is, let's see if I can reenact it. There we go. So as you see there, it's not instant straight away, but with some delay, it will catch your opponent if they're mashing it. So it's a really good move, offensively and defensively, especially if you're using it obviously in strings. So if your opponent wants to, I don't know, they know the super dash is coming. So let's say your opponent's going to super dash. What is super dash on PC? I'm not too sure. I think it is. No, it's not that one. I think it's one. There we go. So if your opponent is going to super dash, the opponent does that. Or whenever you do this, they super dash, right? Tien can do this, which will catch them as well. So that's really handy for that moment. Now, as I said about win conditions, Tien's got a few as a character. He acts as not as a, he's not kind of the leading star in your team. He's kind of leading as a role player. So he himself, he's got a command grab. So he can mix his opponent up with just playing with just that command grab and this. So you see by the frame data, they're very similar. So this is 24 and this is 24. So you can catch your opponent unawares. But one of the biggest things for Tien is not even that move, it's actually one of his air supers. So if you do this in the air, it's 17 frames. So that's, and it's -2, so it's really fast. So what that is that's jump 236H. So the air version is really fast. So if I'm gonna do an IAD, this is really good at catching your opponent unawares because Tien is able to go low. So this is really good in situated catch opponent unawares. So this is kind of one of the not even a win condition, but this is just something cool to have. So yeah, going forward to win conditions, Tien is obviously a great character. You saw with his tools. So we're gonna go through one was with Kefla. So Kefla, I think it has Kefla B. And reflect, right? So if Tien's able to somehow make you block, he's able to put you in a situation here where Tien can go for a high-low. But so he's able to, if you're able to kind of set this up with the stomps, you can either bait your opponent. So Tien, the whole point of Tien, he does a lot of damage. So the goal of Tien on his team is to kind of build meter so that he can do some of the biggest damage in the game. He does a shed load of damage when he hits you, and then that's kind of the goal that Tien is there for. He's a shotgun obviously in the team. And obviously the mix-up I showed you with Kefla, those are the things he looks for. And especially if you partner him with someone like 18. Because of Tien's, his pressure is all of it's -4. You can imagine your opponent wants to press buttons. So when you're doing all of this, your opponent doesn't know when to press. Because everything's -4. So it feels like Tien can attack forever. So what opponents normally do is they're like, you know what, I'm going to press buttons. Which is good. But with 18 assists, Tien can continue his pressure. He can continue his pressure and feel like, oh, my turn hasn't ended. So one more time with 18. So he's kind of baiting his opponent to kind of press buttons. And that's what Tien's design is about. See right there, he's mashing there, but if you go to Super Dash. So right there, all of that's safe, so he does this. And baits you out of 18, so you can do this with not just 18 assists, you can do it with that. So that's kind of Tien's game plan. And what he's really looking for in the partner is partners that just allow him to dish out as much damage as possible. Because he himself does damage, so he's just wiping out characters. Now, when you're fighting against Tien, that's a different hand. So if you're fighting against Tien, as I said before, he relies on his partners for kind of extension. So if we're saying with Broly, let's say a normal extension with Broly. One more time. Oh, sorry about that. If you're relying on extensions, never practiced this one before. Oh! So yeah, he's relying on kind of his assist there to kind of do extensions. Now, that means he's dependent on the characters he plays with. Yes, he's a great character and can get in with all of these moves, but he's relying on characters to allow him to get in, even though he himself is fine, to extend combos, to unlock his damage. So he's relying on his characters and meter. So without meter, like most characters, without meter for Tien, he's not the scariest in the world. You're not going to die. You're not going to be overwhelmed by the damage that Tien's going to dish out on you by himself. It's kind of average damage. But also, one of the specials actually I completely overlooked was this. This is Tien's unique special. So Tien's unique special is the telekinesis. This is very, very helpful. I'll go through the against and I'll go back to that special. So Tien, like I said, he's relying on his assist to do that, and he himself doesn't really have quote-unquote options that are really scary. So if he's by himself and he doesn't have meter, aside from obviously this, aside from this, which is really, really powerful, unless you have meter, that's not really going to scare your opponent. Your opponent can take the hit all day for these, so over all these knockdowns, and allow him to go into super. But the damage is negligible. So if I do hit someone with this, what's next? So that's what you have to ask yourself. So he really, really, really is meter hungry for the situation. So playing as his opponent, if you want to kind of bait him to use meter, or in other shape form with vanish or the sorts, is how you're gonna kind of fight against Tien. But There's not that much. There's not that much against Tien. But anyway, going back to special. So Tien has his telekinesis. This is really good because it hits anywhere on the screen. And Tien is able to confirm. So that's a really handy as well to use, especially if you're trying to protect yourself and use telekinesis. You only get a few uses, so watch out for them. Word is really hard for me. So let's go back to character select screen. So Tien, as we saw there, Tien is a character, he's an all-round. So akin to kind of the last character I did there, he's an all-round character, can fit a position on the team, and has great assists to help characters. He himself is very dependent on meter, on resources such as a character, and such as to extend his combos. So he himself, he really requires a lot of meter to really unlock his damage. As you saw there with the instant jump 236H. Which is really hard for your opponent to react to. And he's got a nice batch of options with the command grab and obviously his 214H, the little dive kick. But where the real thing is Tien staggers. Tien staggers are trying to bait his opponent to press buttons. So he's built around this. So kind of, if you want to build a team around Tien, you can have characters such as, I think we saw with 18 there. So where is 18? We were just playing 18. Obviously we had 18 and Broly, right? So Broly would obviously allow Tien to get in, but Tien can get in himself. So if Broly was using, I don't know, his B assist per se, that'd be a lot better for Tien continuing his pressure. And obviously combo extensions, and 18 we saw with the barrier just there. But if we're using Tien strictly for his damage, if you want to pit him with some of the most damaging characters in the game, people like S Broly, team, he does a shed load of damage, and people like Team Gohan. So if we're going down the damage route, we're going down leaving Tien as a character he himself, and doesn't really need any help. But if you're putting characters like Team Gohan to help him do damage, and using Tohan's A and B assist, or even C, you're really helping Tien because he himself doesn't require help getting in per se. He just needs to get in and do his strings and his staggers, so all assists can kind of help him there. But yeah, I hope this will help someone today and get everyone eyes on Tien. If there's anything, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I want to leave this really open because I really want to talk about these characters and really fond of this community. So yeah, everyone, thanks. If you like the video, leave a like and leave any comments, and take care. See you next video. Peace.